Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for joining me for your daily tarot reading. I always ask you pick the stone that your intuition pulls for, the one that resonates with you. This doesn't have to be taking a long time, but just the one that right away jumps out at you. All right, and I will begin your reading. I'll put the timestamps in the description so you can find your pile quickly. And let's begin. We've got this purple and clear stone. Lovely. We've got, I've got 4. Well, that's by accident. You get a bonus card. Okay. Maybe it's a bonus card kind of day. We have the Strength card. We've got the Chariot. And we've got the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Coins. These are good cards. These are good cards. Wow. There's some really good energy here today. Well, there's the Strength energy. That's the enduring kind of strength that's just underneath you and, in you. So this is like a lot of times divine protection and strength with that Strength card. And it's the kind of quiet strength that it can even be nurturing or compassionate, gentle. Right? So you've got that underneath, but then you've got the Chariot coming in. So also some beautiful energy pulling you forward. And something could even happen quickly today that pulls you forward. But it's good. You know what I mean? It's like in a positive direction. Of course, the Chariot is always, I always say about the Chariot, excuse me, that it could feel a little out of control because the 2 sphinxes are slightly turned out and this man has no reins. But he does have this staff, this wand. It's sort of like there's some magic there, right? So it's a lot about trusting the intuition, trusting that if it feels like positive forward movement, even if it feels a little like, I don't know where this is going, it's good. It's good. We've got 2 cards on either side. We've got the Knight of Cups and we've got the Ace of Coins. Now, the Knight of Cups can be somebody coming into your environment who just sort of makes a good impression or brings you a good message, or, this can be a suitor. This can be a potential partner for some of you. But somebody coming that brings you good tidings, makes you feel good about yourself. Cups upright usually are positive emotion. And the Knight in shining armor, of course, makes a good impression. So if that's somebody else, you could be encountering somebody today who brings that, who makes you feel good about yourself. But also it could be your energy where you're feeling like you have something to offer. I have a cup to give. I have just positive emotion today. You're being blessed with that. You're being blessed with this sort of maybe even a desire to reach out. So at some point during your day, this energy may come in for you. The Ace of Coins is always good. It's an opportunity. It means, when it comes out of the clouds like that, a lot of times, and especially with these 2 spiritual cards, it looks like there's an opportunity to increase your security, money or health or other sources of security. There's an opportunity. Spirit is trying to give you today. They're always trying to help us over there. So they're trying to give you an opportunity. So if something happens quickly and pulls you forward and maybe even pulls your day in a direction you hadn't anticipated, don't worry about it. Obviously, with the Strength card, you've got some divine protection and strength. You've got some opportunity to enhance your security in some way. So there we go. These look very good energy today. Very good energy today. I do like when the Chariot comes up with a card that's so stable like the Strength card, because then you know that even if something happens quickly, and please don't doom and gloom that. Those are positive cards. I can't think it's something terrible probably. It's just something happens quickly. The Strength card says, don't worry. And the Ace of Coins says, don't worry. It's not going to shake your stability or security at all. So that's good. We've got the citrine point, and so whoever chose this clear point, we've got the 10 of coins, we've got the Hermit, we've got the 4 of coins. Now that's really interesting. Okay, so there's a huge focus on stability for you today. And like I said, health or wealth, a lot of times it's about money, it's about financial security. This is the stability of generations, though, legacy, sort of the stability that you have because I don't know, it can be the money, it can be the privileges that you've sort of inherited, but it can also be about other sources of stability that you may have inherited. Like some families are really good with community ties. Some families are really good with teaching their kids about responsibility. You know, it can be those kinds of things too. And this could be, though, you passing that stuff forward to your kids. So this is the generations card. It's a very nice card. The 10 of coins it just is like stability that allows for growth and contentment. You know, not that it's promised, but it certainly allows for it. You know, we've got things under control kind of thing. So that's good energy. Your Hermit, though, is your major arcana. That's the heart of your reading. And a lot of times that's about taking some time to hear from Spirit, being, I think, less worried about your sources of security, health and wealth, or even family, less worried about that today. Because with these two cards, you could very well be somebody who really values that security. And not just for you, for your whole family. You know, really thinks about that, really is wanting that. You know, this 4 of coins guy, he hangs on to, he's got enough, but he hangs on to it pretty tightly because for some reason he feels it's a bit threatened here. He feels a little insecure in that. I think the 10 of coins is saying, don't worry about that. You do have security and stability there. But the Hermit comes in to say, okay, you don't need to worry. You can take some time for some spiritual pursuits. You can, even though you care so much maybe about the people in your life too, you can take some time alone. You can, because Hermit has a message for you. This is a powerful spiritual card. It comes up when our meditation time is likely to be fruitful. It comes up sometimes when someone from the other side would love to share a message with us or a moment with us to encourage us, to support us, to love us. So I think it's good to not worry about sources of security today, but instead focus a little more, at least for part of your day, on spirituality. That's what I'm seeing there, because the security is taken care of, I'm seeing here. And as is the family. So it's the Hermit. The Hermit wants to bring a message to you. All right, for those of you who chose the blue stone, we've got the 5 of rods, the King of Swords, and the 2 of Swords. Very interesting. These are not major arcana, so it's probably not huge events in your day, but it may feel kind of absorbing today because the 5 of rods, well, a lot of times that's conflict or disagreement between other people who are in relationship with each other as they're going about trying to accomplish something together. You know, these aren't swords, these are pages in a training exercise, learning how to fight, but they're not fighting. They're helping each other learn is what they're doing. So it can be there's some conflict around you or disagreement around you, minor, you know. But I feel like for you today, there's something, you've got a decision to make. It could be big, it could be small, especially with no major arcana. It could be minor, but you're of two minds. What do I do? Do I do this or do I do that? And so I think it's about not being distracted by this. The King of Swords is about doing what makes sense. You know, that's sort of the answer in this trilogy of cards. It's sort of like, well, I'm going to do what makes sense intellectually. I'm going to do what makes sense logically. I'm going to use my intellect. I'm going to go ahead and make a plan. You could be encouraged today to actually make a plan for the day. That might be part of it. Or you're learning something new with this sword. Or, you know, there's something you're picking apart and analyzing so you can make a decision. because this Two of Swords person, she has a blindfold on and she can't make a decision yet. She needs more information, plan A or plan B. So, you know what? I'm making a big deal out of this, but you know what? It could be as simple as, what am I going to do for the next four hours? I could do this or I could do that. What do I think? And then you're encouraged to get some information to help you to figure that out, or even journal, because that's a good way to engage your intellect. Journal for sometimes 3 minutes, and then you get clarity. Oh, that's what I'll do, you know. And you might even get clarity that takes you into the next week too. It's surprising sometimes. So this could be internal conflict too, and indecision. So the answer is King of Swords. And then making a plan and not being afraid to just stick with what makes sense for you today. See, the King of Swords, he is not a King of Cups. He is not too worried about the whole, you know, the emotions today, or how this affects his emotions or other people's emotions. He's just like, some days you just have to do what makes sense. And some days that means cutting something away. Like, I can't do that. I can't deal with that today. I'm dealing with this. Some days that means certainly not being pulled by your emotion to go against your better judgment. You know, certainly not that. So yeah, for some of you, he appears because maybe somebody does want to pull you away from doing what you think makes sense. And, you know, he appears to say, no, stay the course, what you believe makes sense. You're smart. You know what you're talking about. You know, sometimes it's okay to compartmentalize the emotions or the emotional responses and just move forward with what makes sense. I really do like journaling, because sometimes that really, or if you talk to somebody who helps you problem solve or just think aloud, that anything that can engage your intellect and figuring something out, your analytical powers today are probably pretty darn good with that card. So that is a good one. Let's see. For those of you who chose the speckled stone, this is a bloodstone actually. We've got, and so it's sort of like earthy kinds of tones. We've got the Judgment card. We've got the 8 of Cups and the 7. Oh, I feel like I should put them in this order because we have 7 and 8. All right, so the Judgment card is the heart of your reading. Love the Judgment card. It's clarity and good judgment. A lot of times it means sometimes you have angelic support and you have a message from the angels sometimes. But usually I feel like with the Judgment card, it's like, it's not a specific message so much as it is a knowing. It's like, this is correct. You know, I've got good judgment. I'm making a good decision today. So this might be a day where you're wanting to make a decision that goes beyond today, given that this is a major arcana. And it may be, I see what this is. The 7 of Cups is about choices that we have to make, right? Or it's about visions for the future. And whenever it comes up, even though some things are murky and we don't exactly have clarity, we are encouraged to expect positive things, to look for positive things coming in our future. We're daydream instead of dread. You know, it's like that, daydream instead of dread. And because most of these cups are having positive things. And the guide would then be how you feel about it emotionally. Today is a good day to use emotions as your guide. Not to sort of impulsively act out of a feeling of the moment, but really, you know, take a little bit of time to, and it doesn't even have to be much time, because sometimes you just know. If you ask yourself, do I want to do this? Or what, you know, what would I really wish for? This guy has a lot going for him. He's got 8 cups upright, but he's still off in search of his wish. He's off in search of 9 cups, his wish, the wish fulfillment card, because he's saying, you know, I can take some time today and meander around and try to feel better. Or else he is simply taking some time away under the moonlight, walking peacefully by the water and feeling really nice, you know, to calm, to soothe, to turn his 8 into 9, to make himself feel more fulfilled emotionally. I think anytime you're taking away and anytime you're asking yourself today, what do I wish for? What do I really want? And even asking universe for that. I think it's going to bring clarity today, and it's going to bring more peace today. And there may be need for that with that Seven of Cups here. Also, that 7 can come when the confusion is partly because of other people. You know, maybe there's some confusing messages that are coming at you and they don't sound right, or they don't ring true, or it just feels confusing. It's okay to take some time off by yourself and rely on the angelic support for clarity. All right. Well, I thank you all so very much. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.